Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Moetivation, the show where we dive headfirst into the most amazing minds. Our topic today is about marketing, the importance of marketing, the psychology behind marketing, and who better to have with us than the CMO of Discovery, Mr. Firoze Bhorat. Assalamu alaikum, Firoze. How are you?
Walaikum salam. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for being on the show. It's fantastic to
Pleasure.
have you here. I mean, we were just catching up before the show, and your mind intrigues me, and I want to dive headfirst into that mind. Firoz, for our guests, who are you and what is your mission?
Like we were joking earlier, I speak a lot about purpose, particularly in the corporate context. I've never really given much thought until you asked me, actually, what's my purpose, etc. But you got me thinking about that, and as I introspected, I realized that more than just what I do, where I've come from, or what I do for a living, etc. It's very much about my family and my boys. The amount of effort and time and energy that I put into those two little people is I've realized that's what gives me the greatest joy, and to see them be successful as they grow up is probably what's driving me the most right now.
That's brilliant. Putting it into family is something that is so important, and everyone is striving to do that. But at the same time, everyone's striving to run their business, make a living, to be able to provide for those kids, to be able to provide for their family. This is what I want to get into with you today: marketing. How important is it for someone who has a business to say, I need to market my business? I need to capture the attention of everyone. I need to be able to show that my product is superior to the next product. How important is it, and how do they go about doing it?
Well, marketing is a business fundamental, right? So people have great ideas. People think they have really good businesses, and they probably do. You only really have a business once you have something differentiated in the market, and that obviously you can charge a premium for it, make some money out of it, right? So as a fundamental, marketing it's foundational.
Mm.
You have to have a marketing strategy to drive your business forward. You may have an excellent product, may be the best product in the world, but if you're not able to articulate the difference that that product exhibits in the market doesn't know about it. Hence, you don't have a business, right? So fundamentally, your strategy should be able to take a really clever product, take it to the market, package it in a way that's relevant to the market and that they see value in. If the market doesn't see value in it, again, you don't have a business.
Right.
So marketing is really just the process of taking a really good idea or product or something that you have and really packaging it in a way that is a proposition that's relevant and appealing to the audience that you want to target.
Okay, fantastic. I want to know now. I have a business. I want to package it in the best way. I do not have the budget to package it. I'm on social media. I'm putting it out there. I'm getting a few hits and I'm getting a few calls here and I'm getting a bit of business from the small things that I'm doing. But then what do I do to change it without a budget? Is it the words? Is it the advertising? Is it going on apps and creating these adverts? What is it? If you could give one piece of advice to our audience today, what is it that just that one thing, if you do this differently, you might actually captivate someone's attention?
It's all of those things that you mentioned, Mo. So I mean, I think uh, I don't need to sit here and explain the virtues of social media. I think we all get it, right? It's opened up the world of marketing. It's democratized the world of marketing. When I first started out, it was only the big brands that could do things because you needed a TV budget or a radio budget or something of that nature. So it costed a hell of a lot of money, right? Now with social media, it's opened up those channels, right? Anybody, you, myself, anybody that has something that they want to say can say it, whether it's about themselves or the product. So it's democratized marketing in a sense. So I'm not really going to talk about that. I would rather say that one needs to think about what is the point of differentiation. That is core. So you can dress it up as much as you like,
Mm,
right?
mm.
But if you don't have a core differentiating factor behind what it is that you're offering to the market, it is going to be very difficult to compete. So that's the first point. Make sure that you are differentiated in your offering in the market, right? And then I think if yeah, budgets are limited. We Nobody has the kind of money that the big corporates have got. What's what's the easiest route to the audience that you want to reach? I think in there, uh, the fundamental is understanding who it is that you want to target.
Right.
And this is going to, I suppose, come back to a thought that I just want to land, which is in my world, the fundamental of marketing is data analytics, right? So the ability to understand everything that needs to be understood about your client, the market that within which you operate, where your customers are coming from, what they're doing, the demographics, the psychographics, where you're going to make profit, where you're going to make revenue, geographical locations. There's there's a wide array of data that one can extract. Obviously, when you're working in corporate environments, it's much more readily available. But I suppose my advice would be, what data can you extract from the market within which you operate? The more you understand that sort of data, and you're able to assimilate that into information and insights, then you start having a bit of a competitive edge in the market, because your ability to understand what the market wants, how they want it, when they want it, how they want it packaged, do you have the right product, what enhancements you need to make, that's marketing.
Yes.
Marketing is not just about the communication, it's not about the delivery of a message, it's about understanding what it is that the clients want, match those needs. Once you match those needs, you've got a business.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's the advice that I was trying to look for here, because so many of us are just lost in putting an advert out, but not understanding who this advert is reaching. Why is it reaching them? Because if an advert that's meant to go to a specific audience is not going to that audience, it defeats the purpose of putting that advert out completely. So there's a deep psychology attached to marketing. And I think it's so key that we as individuals understand that we are products of that attachment to the marketing. And if we want to sell a product, we have to make our customers products of that psychology as well.
Yeah. Look, the interesting bit is, with the advent of digital marketing in particular, not just social media, but the Google platforms, as an example, the amount of the data and analytics that come out of there makes us understand, are we reaching them? What's reaching? Which message is reaching them? To what degree is a message or a platform impactful in terms of selling our stuff? So I mean, that's bread and butter in our world. If I don't have that information, I can't make decisions on the back of any of the products that we sell, because I'm not sure what's resonating with people, right? So for me, again, the big thing is, to the degree that you can understand of all of the things that you do as your business, what is making a meaningful impact, what is resonating with your clients, and to what degree, that's going to start to give you an insight into what you need to focus. Do you need to change the product? Do you need to enhance the product? Have you got the right product?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
It could be a question of branding. Could be just a question of messaging. You might have the right product, but you're not. You mentioned psychology. You're not tapping into the right psychology of the individual. Are people looking for price differentiation? Are they looking for value? Are they looking for performance? You need to understand these things. There's so many dynamics that are at play in a person's psychology when they come to purchasing products.
Wow, it goes so much deeper than actually just putting it out there. And I think that's where a lot of us get lost, myself included, where we feel that if we put something out, everyone must buy it because I love my product. Everyone has to love my product. And unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. And now you get it. Marketing is a lot bigger than just the advert put out there. And I hope everybody understands that. But when we come back from this break, we're going to dive with Firoze again, understanding why is the psychology of it so important? How are we getting drawn into this? And you know what? I know you have a great product. I want to talk about the purpose of your product and how important that purpose is. But we'll see you on the other side of this ad break. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. Firoze, before the break, we were talking about marketing, the psychology behind marketing. Now we have a product, and we believe that this product is going to change the world. And I want to get it out there. And I study the right marketing tools. I put the right advert out. Does it necessarily just work? Or do I have to believe so much in my product and that I have a purpose with this product to be able to change the world for it to work? Because I feel that it's so important not only to sell the world something junk, because you'll make something for a small period of time, and it will fizzle away. But if you want to explode something like the big companies that you worked for, there was a bigger purpose. There was a deeper meaning to what they wanted to do. How important is the purpose in marketing your product?
I can't overstate how important having a core and fundamental purpose is. I mean, you mentioned two important aspects, right? One is you've got to believe in it and you've got to have a deep belief in your product, and that's fantastic. But you also got to be very careful that you're not marketing to yourself. We had this conversation earlier, which is, or you mentioned it. You said, well, just because I like it doesn't mean that the rest of the world's going to like it, and you got to be careful that you're not marketing yourself, right? You think everybody thinks the way you think, and so why is my product not selling? They're not you. You are you. So there's a fundamental belief in your own product. Have that purpose, but understand that you're speaking to other people. So you've got to be careful that you don't market to yourself. So just coming back to the purpose, I think it is so fundamentally important that when you start something, you start it with the right intention. I mean, we know this in so many aspects of our lives. It's no different in business, right? If you start with the right sort of purpose and the right sort of intention, I believe that the money will flow.
Right.
Starting with the intention of wanting to make money, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think a higher purpose leads you to achieve greater things. So I'll give you an example from where I work now, right? So we're in healthcare and a bunch of other financial services streams, banking and short-term insurance, long-term insurance, etc. But the belief at the time when Discovery was thought about was that there's a core need to make people healthier. That was the single focus, a core need to make people healthier. The purpose is articulated as we exist to make people healthier and enhance and protect their lives. That's where the insurance part comes in. But to this day, when I have conversations with the likes of Adrian, he remains resolute around we're here to make people healthier. And everything that we build around the products that we put out to market is all about yours and my health in mind. If we're a member of Discovery, that's all that they're thinking about. Do you have access to the best healthcare possible? Do you have access to the best information and nudges through Vitality to keep yourself healthy? So you can see how that purpose permeates through every single thing that we do. And out of that, a viable product is born. And out of that, people buy their product. They buy into the philosophy of Discovery and now you have a really successful business.
That's exactly how you were explaining to me your life went. You had a small purpose where you wanted to make a career. It wasn't just about money. It was about getting your mind better, making your lifestyle better, making your soul better, introspecting the most, right? Opportunities came in your life and doors opened up because you took those opportunities and you didn't just hold back and say, I'm secure. I'm just making a little bit of money now. I'm happy with this. I'm not going to take the risk. Marketing is about taking the risk. Having a purpose allows you to take that risk. How did it impact you in your personal life? Forget the brands that you've worked for, but Firoze Bhorat as an individual, how did it impact you?
Well, I think it's important to say, I mean, you make, again, a very important point, is that that sense of comfort is probably your biggest enemy. Because if you're comfortable, you should be worried. Whether you're in business, whether you're in a career, whether you're studying, if you're comfortable in life, man, you've got to be right.
Comfort zone,
Right?
right? Nothing
That's
grows.
yeah, exactly. It's insipid. There's nothing happening.
Yes.
Right? There's no drive. There's no motivation. What are you striving towards?
But how do I step out of it?
That's the way I did it.
Okay.
Right? Every time I felt that I was getting comfortable, so I gave you the story of, great corporate job in telecoms in South Africa. Opportunity came to do something completely different in Qatar. It was a startup for Vodafone in Qatar. I knew nothing. This was before Qatar,
Yes.
2022, right?
Right.
And that's a remarkable story all on its own that I should tell you. But it was back when Qatar was literally a sandpit.
Right.
Right? Not much going on. They had just discovered gas. It was on its way up, but there was nothing there. It was not even close to what Dubai was, right? But I said, well, this sounds like an exciting opportunity, a startup for a big global telecoms company. And I get to go to a new place. I was about to get married at the time. And my late wife at the time said, "You want me to give up my medical practice and follow you to the middle of nowhere? Come on." And I, bless her, she said, "I'll do it for you." And
Wow.
she followed me. She got a holiday for 2 years. That's fine. So the best time. I can't even tell you how amazing it was. From a learning experience, I met people from all over the world, and I learned more in those 2 years than I learned the prior 10 years in my career. And it was about the most amazing experience I've ever had. I came back into bigger roles in South Africa in banking, which I'd never done before, but I, I got into banking then, and it's been the stepping stone for my career all along. So my answering your question is, you've got to actively step out of that comfort zone. It could have been easy for me, like, listen, I'm not going to go to a new country where I don't know the people, don't know the culture, don't know the language, I don't know what's there. I'm about to get married. Why would I uproot this whole thing? It sounds crazy, but take those risks. People ask me, how did you get to where you are? So I've taken risks.
You stepped out into that fear zone.
Mm.
It's not an easy place to be. We've all put our toe there, pulled it back, put our toe there and pulled it back. It is a difficult place to be, but you are living proof that if you step into that fear zone, the next thing is the growth zone. And the growth zone is where we, as human beings, as Muslims, this is where we need to be in our life. The growth zone is where the actual beauty of life comes out.
Absolutely.
There's this psychology experiment that they do where they draw a circle around an ant, and the ant does not go out of that circle because it feels like that's where it's captive, but it's got the rest of the paper to go on. And we need to just be able to cross that line. And like I said, you are a perfect example of how you cross that line and went out into the world and took full advantage of the growth zone. You got two young boys. They're growing up now. One of them wants to do marketing. What advice do you give him? Is it a good career path to go down, or is it a career path that makes you have to think out of the box in order to grow in it?
I suppose it is. It is a career path that forces you to think out the box. But if I were to consider what advice I'd give my kids from a career perspective, right? I don't think one necessarily needs to study marketing. And all the purists out there are gonna, like, what is this guy talking about? I mean, yes, you do. There are subjects called marketing. I didn't study marketing, right? I studied economics, right? Um, I had no interest in marketing. It never crossed my mind. I wanted to do economics from the time I was at school, and that's what I studied. It just so happened that these companies come to university and they recruit guys off university, and I had this choice to go into financial services or go into Coca-Cola. And I'm thinking, wow, Coca-Cola is the biggest brand in the world. I'm going to try this. Again, a risk. I had no interest in this thing whatsoever, but I'm going to try this. And that's how I kind of just fell into this space. So I've been fortunate in that it's kind of worked out for me. I didn't formally want to do this as a career. So I would kind of pass that on to my kids as well, which is learn as much as you can about business, right? Because if you understand business, you can learn marketing very easily. It's not about having the specific skill set about being able to do advertising, because advertising is but one little component of marketing. Marketing fundamentally is about understanding business. So go and do a business degree, right? If you want to get into marketing, it'll be open to you. It's okay. But go and make sure that you're well in and the contemporary skills that you need to have. Now, in this day and age, again, I come back to data analytics, data engineering, data science. It is so top of mind in all employers right now that those people that are able to organize and interpret data are kings.
Wow.
Right? These are the guys that can make a difference. So again, not forcing people into that. My only advice would be as rounded as you can as an individual, and you can get into anything that you want to be.
Well, you've definitely come across as a rounded individual. You've shared so much of wisdom with us on the show. I know people are going to take a lot from this, those with small businesses, those youngsters looking to study something, knowing that it's about taking that risk no matter what you've studied. Take that risk. It might be worth it in the end. Step out of your comfort zone. Go into the fear zone. From there, leads us into the growth zone, which is where you are currently, Firoze. You are enjoying your life in the growth zone, and may you continue to grow even more. First of all, I really want to acknowledge you for the human being that you are, for the individual that you are. I know you from a very young age. I really truly want to acknowledge you because you've been an inspiration to all of us who know you, and to those who don't know you. You have touched their lives in some way or another. So I definitely want to acknowledge you for that. But one last final question before we leave. If this microphone that you had on today was connected to 8 billion people for 30 seconds, what message would you give them?
I think it's simple. I think every one of us need to dig deep and find that humanity within ourselves again. I think if we get back to that core of we all came into this world unencumbered, right? We all came in, I'd like to believe, with purity. And if we got back to that sense of purity and humanity, I wonder how much of a better place this world would be. So we don't see each other as adversaries, then we see each other as just human beings
Wow.
and able to get along with each other, unencumbered by anything. Because I think we're taught hatred, or we're taught discrimination. We're taught to dislike people that are unlike us, you know, dislike opinions, dislike other ideas.
Brilliant.
I wonder if we got to that level of purity again, how good this world could actually
Amazing.
be.
Absolutely amazing. Firoze, again, thank you so much for joining us. I hope the show was informative, flowing to understand how important it is to find your human core, your purpose, market it out to the world, and show the world what you are about. Remember, take those risks. It's in those small risks that we become the best individuals that we are, because it's small hinges that swing big doors open. This is motivation, and let me motivate you.